Hey folks, I'm one of these people that's either blessed or cursed with when something breaks, I want to know why before I just drop it off at the mower shop. Um, Sometimes I'm able to do the repairs myself, most of the time, and save a few bucks. So if you're interested in how a Toro TimeMaster blades would no longer spin, I have one scenario and found problem for why that was to be the case, and it's very simply a frozen pulley wheel bearing. You can see here this guy will not spin, and when this guy stopped spinning, it would normally be mounted here, and you can see this is a little bit of a complicated pulley setup because this bracket is adjustable and keeps tension on your propeller belt. So this is a dual blade lawnmower. This is one blade's propeller shaft. This is the other blade's propeller shaft. This is the belt that brings the drive power from the motor on board here. But when this bearing froze, you can see this is a good bearing here, how easily it spins. What happened was initially it would be hard to engage and the motor would struggle a little, but ultimately, I could cut the grass. And then over time, what would happen is I'd get like a real nasty squeal and some smoke. And it wasn't very long before blades wouldn't want to spin anymore, because what that smoke was the belt melting this wheel. So strong, powerful belt system and motor here. While I'm in here deciding if I should replace these belts, actually they look really good for what was coming out of there smoke wise. It's like the back side of this main belt is steel belted, so I think I got away with one here, but I may replace it based on how expensive it is, just because I've already got this taken apart. But again, it's only 7 screws. We got a 3/8 inch socket to take this cover off, and then underneath really just these 3 1/2 inch bolts, 2 to connect this bracket to the deck, one in front and one in back right here, if you could see this back one. And this is actually the bolt where the pulley wheel, once I order a new one, will be fixed back on. But one word of caution, if you try to do a repair like this yourself, is that these propeller shafts need to be in proper timing, if you will, in relation to each other when they spin. And I'm going to show you underneath why that's so important, and make sure I get this right when I put it back together as well. Is these blades can actually run into each other if you don't have them timed right. So I don't know what the stock timing is. I've already had the belts off, but obviously these blades need to spin like they are right now, so they won't run into each other. And if I remove this belt up here real quick, you will see that they're very capable of banging into each other, and that would be very bad. So I'm gonna look it up and maybe post the answer when I find it. But most importantly, I'd say that this is about the maximum amount of minimum amount of clearance you would want between these two blades. So I don't know how they set it up from the factory, but that looks pretty as close as I would go when setting it up. So hope this is helpful for anybody that gets a frozen bearing to avoid a costly lawnmower shop drop off, and pretty good way to spend a Sunday morning.